Sup guys, today we're talking narratives. And what I mean by that is what kept the altcoin seasons coming in the recent bull runs, and how do the narratives come and go, and how do these narratives in the future maybe hit our good old friend SUPRA. So without further ado, let's jump into the main graphic we use for this video. So short explanation, from the bottom to the top you have all the narratives that hit, and the coins hitting this narrative were actually pumping at that time. And if you don't understand, 2018, 2019, 2022 and 2023 of course were bear markets. This means there were no narratives and there were actually no altcoins pumping. We're gonna go through this graphic from the bottom to the top, and from there on we're gonna elaborate how things might play out. So first things first. Smart contract platforms and the ICO mania. Many of you weren't around. To be honest, I wasn't around also, but I heard and I read a lot about this. What happened at that time was that Ethereum and all the other layer 1 blockchains like EOS and Cardano had their big run up here. And pretty much like the 2001 .com bubble, everything that had a coin went up. There were coins about absolutely everything, and at that time the Ethereum ecosystem grew like crazy. So if you don't know, this is bullshit. Polkadot is not Ethereum, but all these coins here, Uniswap, Mantle, Aave, BitGet token, these are all Ethereum-based tokens, and even about a half or even more, I don't have the exact numbers, but I guess half of the coins in the top 100 are Ethereum tokens. So all of these, or some of these, were born in this time. ICO means initial coin offering. So like an IPO, an initial product offering, people were able to get airdrops, and today these airdrops are worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, and people jumped into the crypto space like crazy. And the next narrative that had hit was of course the smart contract platforms. Bitcoin was just store of value or international peer-to-peer payment system. It was revolutionary. Of course, it's still revolutionary, and without Bitcoin we wouldn't be here at all, and if Bitcoin dies we all die. That aside, smart contracts mean you can build all sorts of stuff on cryptocurrencies, and especially Ethereum was the number one there. And with that, one narrative hit also, and we come to that later, was the privacy coins. So back then, Monero and Zcash were already around. We come back to that later. So here we have these three narratives. Reason for that is there wasn't more. What do you want more? First you had payment systems, XRP and Bitcoin, and now you have smart contracts. It was the big narrative. We can build now. And they had 3 years, and then they started building. And what happened? We had the DeFi craze, the DeFi summer in 2020. Aave, MakerDAO, and all these big platforms, you can actually make banking on blockchain. Revolutionary. The people ran in and those coins actually exploded. We had yield farming, Lido DAO. So here the big narrative was also oracles, and these also hit all-time highs. In this year, Chainlink hit its all-time high, and from there on, when Solana came, we had also Pyth and Flare network, and we have a lot of more oracles you don't know about. One new oracle, one layer 1 vertical oracle is now SUPRA, and we come to that later. Maybe this narrative might repeat. Another one in 2020 is the stablecoin ecosystem. So we can now build stuff on Ethereum. And of course the people started to build like crazy. And what did they build? Maybe I find them here. If we go to the dollar, we have, oh, it's not even there, but we have the stable coins. Most of the stable coins are on Ethereum with, let's go back to here, with of course Tether being the biggest one. But there are a lot of stable coins built on Ethereum. USDC is also an Ethereum layer. Okay, we now have a dollar-backed cryptocurrency tradable globally on the blockchain. Revolutionary, the people thought it was awesome, and of course the underlying networks like Ethereum at that point were pumping. We go back and hit 2021. So keep in mind, this is the same bull run. More and more stuff could be built on the blockchain. So the absolutely craziest shit happened. People put JPEGs on the blockchain, called them unique, and said there are only 5 of them on the blockchain and you can verify your ownership. To this day, I think this technology is usable in the future. It's for medical records. It's maybe for decentralized identity and stuff like that. So you have your ID as an NFT on the blockchain. It's all usable. But selling pictures, selling monkey pictures, I thought this can't be happening. This is absolutely crazy. And pretty much history proved me right. All these NFTs that hit crazy amounts of evaluation went to zero. One I looked up was this one, Axie Infinity. If you don't know, Axie Infinity pretty much is Pokemon on the blockchain. So the most expensive Axie Infinity NFT is this one, Angel, Triple Mystic. Wow! It sold for 300 Ether in 2020. Approximately blah blah blah, 130. Dude, Ethereum is at $3,000 today. This is almost $1 million for this. And you think the crypto space was sane at that time? Okay, let's go back. NFTs, gaming, play to earn. Already talked about that. Axie Infinity, we had the gaming narrative. And there were a lot of games born in that time and still are born today. People try to make gaming on the blockchain work. SUPRA also does this, but SUPRA has verified randomness. Keep that in mind. The metaverse. In that time, Facebook called itself Facebook. Now it's called Meta, because this narrative was so big. And to show it to you, there were 2 big projects in the top 100. We have Sandbox. Where is it? Don't find it. Sandbox. Oh, it's not in the top 100 anymore. And Decentraland. Are you serious? Did they actually leave the top 100? They did. Oh my god. This is insane. So these 2 were, you can imagine it, those were big MMOs, and everything you could build there, everything you could buy there, generated cryptocurrency and also could be bought and sold for cryptocurrency. And there was even a crazy time where people had a poker place there, and you could actually work there as a poker dealer inside Decentraland. Or it was Sandbox, I don't know, I don't remember. But this thing was big, and people thought the new humans were only spending time in the virtual space, and of course we have to monetize that, and those were the big narratives. But you see what happened to this narrative. It dropped out of the top 100. They were in the top 100 for years now, for 3 years, and now they dropped out. Narratives change, man. Narratives change, man. Layer 2 scaling. So with layer 2 scaling, we had Polygon-Matic is the biggest one, I imagine now. The fees on Ethereum were too high, so they needed a layer 2 solution to solve this problem. SUPRA doesn't have this problem. You know that. We have a vertical blockchain. We don't need layer 2 solution for something like that. Okay. ETH killers. We're talking about that right now. What is an ETH killer? Everybody thought there was the flippening in the bull run of 2017. So everybody thought that Ethereum will overtake Bitcoin and will be the #1 cryptocurrency and the worldwide known and biggest one. Failed successfully. But at that time, we had BNB coming. We had Cardano coming. Solana was also born, but it wasn't big enough back then. We had Stellar Lumens back then. We had Avalanche back then. We had Polkadot back then. Oh, that's not doing good. We had more of them. Cosmos, and stuff like that. So more and more blockchains claim to be the new number one layer 1 blockchain. Bitcoin was the undefeated winner at that time, 2021. So now people were fighting for this number 2 spot. And this was this ETH killer narrative. Interoperability and cross-chain. This had a small run-up, and with Cosmos and Polkadot, we had 2 very good blockchains solving this problem. Interoperability and cross-chain is what SUPRA also is about. And if we are talking about repeated narratives, this might come back. Web3 infrastructure, a bit. We have stuff like Helium, if you don't know how that works. Helium pretty much it also dropped out of the 100. Jesus, what is happening in the crypto space? This is terrible. If you don't know, Helium, you pretty much order a router you put into your house or into your apartment, and then you pretty much run the Helium network. And for running a node, which is pretty much a machine for itself, you get paid when people use it in Helium tokens. It pretty much tries to be a second internet. It's a really cool idea, but you see, this was the narrative. We dropped from 52 back to 180. This hurts. Maybe it comes back though. So now that we are done running through all the narratives that were there in the recent bull runs, we only have about 2 or 3 narratives that hit in this bull run. But we have so much larger ecosystems, but only have 3 narratives. We go into this. Meme coins. This X shouldn't only be there. It should be there, and it should be there. In the 2016-2017, nobody could ever imagine that Dogecoin is actually kind of rallying. So meme coins were there back then. And 2020-2021, we also had the big run-up of Shiba Inu and all the other Doge coins like Floki and Doge Elon Mars and stuff like that. This stuff was so insane and running up to insane numbers that this narrative has to also be there. 2021, I think it was. And the meme coin rally, this bull run, was pretty much only fueled by Solana and Pump.fun. So meme coins will surely hit again. If it is in this bull run again or in the next one, we don't know, but I'm pretty sure there will be some crazy stuff going on again. And now we have this one. We have the privacy narrative. People suddenly talk about zero knowledge. People talk about untraceability of transactions. They talk about ring structures like Monero has. We already had this narrative back then. We had this narrative with the privacy coins, with the birth of Zcash. And if you don't know the Zcash graph, the Zcash graph looks like this. So 2017, this stuff was really big. If you think this is the only one there is, we have this one, Verge, which also was a privacy coin. But this one had its run-up after Zcash, and this was a big run-up, so you could make a lot of money with that one. But then you had another kind of half the way leg up in the next bull run, and this time people don't care about Verge. We don't know why. Maybe there was a security breach, I didn't dive into that. So what if some narratives repeat now? What if the Oracle narrative and the Web3 narrative repeats? Or even new narratives? What if people suddenly think layer 2s are stupid, we want everything in one package? and this narrative hits, then SUPRA might have its time. But let's keep SUPRA out of the way for a few minutes and talk about other possible narratives. So of course I asked ChatGPT, and what did they tell me? RWA. Since 2 years I hear nothing but RWA and DPIN. We haven't had a big run-up of those. We have Ondo, which is really a good project, but we haven't had a big run-up. If we look into this Ondo, well, of course it's 3x. It's a 3x until now. That's not much. That's not much. So did we hit this narrative? In my opinion, we didn't yet. Maybe it will come. We know that Larry Fink loves RWA and loves DPIN, so maybe BlackRock jumps into that and we hear some big news about tokenization, and then this narrative will hit. DPIN, of course, it's the decentralized infrastructure. We have the GPU sharing platform Render. We have Helium, I talked about that. Akash, which is pretty much also an AI coin. AI, yes, AI. We have also that. We can look at that. BitTensor is the biggest one. Had a nice run-up. Had a really, really nice run-up. Oh, geez, this is a lot. Whee! So we might say, okay, this had at its peak, it's also 70x, and the AI16Z, which is also a kind of AI and meme coin crossover, which had also, yeah, this is more than a 200. This is a 200x about, something like that. Insane. So we pretty much hit that, but not all the coins were hitting, of course. We go further. Decentralized identity, which will come, which will pretty much come. People already talk about the e-identity in Europe, and of course we will have decentralized solutions for that. WorldCoin is not a decentralized solution. It's the Satan's coin. Do not invest into this. Civic is a legit project, and maybe Cardano will put some efforts into that. So decentralized identity might be a narrative that's gonna be hit in the future months. Web3 social, we have that. I heard about an app called Mithril. If you know something about that, CyberConnect, Friend.tech. I know about Nostr, which is pretty much Twitter on the Bitcoin blockchain, which is really awesome because you can instantly tip people over the Lightning Network, and we need more of this. We need more of this. This is really cool. Because of all the censorship, we need decentralized solution for that. So this might also be a narrative that's hit. CK proofs. People talk about zero knowledge all the time now. All my Twitter feed is full of CK rollups. Well, Mina was a big one. Might be hit again. CK is privacy and security. Might be hit. Might be hit. I don't know. So there were some narratives that I never heard of. I skipped them. We have the Bitcoin L2 ecosystem. Of course, we have stacks. We have runes and stuff like that. Pretty much this already happened. This small run-up of the Bitcoin smart contracts hit. I know about a meme coin called Dog, which had a big run-up, but it pretty much died off fast. It died off fast. On-chain gaming. This might happen again. We have Illuvium, which is a pretty big MMO, and it is a blockchain game. The only annoying thing about blockchain gaming is that it's still very clunky. Once the people solve this, gaming might be another narrative that will be hit. Agent economies. So, AutoFi? AutoFi, yeah. Insurance and risk market. To be honest, I never heard of this. Risk Harbor, Sherlock, I never heard of this. But this is also some kind of DeFi narrative that could be hit. Decentralized computation, Akash, Render. Okay, we have that. We already hit that pretty much. Supply chain. I like this. I pretty much like WeChain. I'm gonna make a video about that. And machine-to-machine payment. IOTA, which also had a run-up in 2017. Okay, And now we're pretty much done. This is everything the AI could come up with. Fully private smart contract platforms. You say, yeah, well, there you go. Decentralized robotics, AI run DAOs. There is it. Privacy stablecoins, which is also cool. And crypto native credit markets using real reputation. So again, DREP. Alright guys, there you have it. Many of those narratives could lead into a bull run where SUPRA has its run up. If we don't talk about SUPRA and we talk about general narratives, we have so much to be looking forward to. If we have a small bear market right now, I'm not a trend analyst, but if Bitcoin drops now and hits the 200 EMA, and then we are in a small bear market, I'm pretty sure once the money printer gets on again, then we start hitting new all-time highs again. When that happens, we have our new narratives. Few of them will repeat, and I don't know where I put my tokens this time, but of course, SUPRA might be the big play here. So I hope I could help you with this video and tell you something that you didn't actually know. And with that, until next time, see you in the next one. Bye.